Another avenue of a criminal case are the motions. There are so many different motions that you can file in a criminal case. Some of the motions are to expose that there's constitutional rights that are being violated. And I had a question. It wasn't even a question. It was a comment that was made this week to me. And they were like, Stephanie, how is it that you can take a case knowing that a person committed a crime? You know that they committed this crime. How do you live with yourself? And you know what I tell them? Fine. You know why? Because my job is to defend the United States and the Georgia Constitution. Every lawyer that passes the bar has to take an oath. Shout out to all of the law graduates that are waiting on their bar results. I'm praying for you that you can get out here and kick ass and do what you need to do, that you get a pass on your bar results. But that's a side note. The bottom line is when you pass that bar and you decide that you're going to move forward and become an attorney, you have to take an oath. And that oath says that you have to defend the constitutions, the Georgia and the United States Constitution. So when you're in the motions phase of a criminal case, what your job is to do is not only to look at the evidence that's going to be done against your client, but to also to see if there's any constitutional violations, if there are any Fourth Amendment issues that's against search and seizures that are unlawful. Is there a violation here? If there's a violation here, let's go ahead and expose it so this court can determine whether or not the evidence that was illegally seized can still stand and be heard before a jury, or whether or not it has to be removed. And if the evidence is, withheld and it's the crust of their case, then guess what? Your case, they don't have a case. The case is over. So when you're in the case, your goal is not to say, oh, I know I got a bad defendant and we're gonna do what we can do to go ahead and get this case dismissed. That's not what the goal is. The goal is to advocate for your client from the standpoint that their constitutional rights have not been violated. So with that being said, that's what the motions phase is for.